Welcome to our yoga class today, and this is going to be a full body stretch, and it will be really great for those of you who spend lots of time at your desk. Maybe you have tight chests or tight shoulders. So just making a start, coming down onto your mat. You can come into an easy kneeling position, or if your knees are painful, maybe bringing a cushion underneath your sit bones, or coming into an easy seated position with your legs crossed. Whichever feels easiest for you. We're just going to begin by rolling those shoulders up, back and down, and then placing the hands on your thighs and then closing down the eyes. Bringing your attention towards your breath and just slowing down your mind, giving your emotions a break and giving your body a quick scan. As you inhale, expanding that belly, expanding that chest. And as you exhale, just relaxing down those shoulders a bit more, relaxing the muscles in your face. And keep this breath through your nose, noticing the sensations in your body. Staying here, being still and breathing deeply. And now I want you to think of a positive attribute or something that you want to bring more of into your life. Maybe it's friendship, forgiveness, love, anything that you want to bring more of into your life. And just saying to yourself, I intend to invite. Whatever that is for you today, just bringing your awareness to your intention. I intend to invite. We're going to have 2 more deep breaths here. Inhaling, expanding that belly, expanding that chest. And exhaling, relaxing those shoulders, relaxing the muscles in your face. One more time. Inhaling as deeply as you can. And exhaling. Slowly just blinking your eyes open, and on your next inhale, raising your arms to the ceiling, hands come together, look up. And exhale, twisting to your right side, hooking your left hand to the outside of that right thigh, gazing over your right shoulder. Coming into our twist. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, drop those shoulders. And as you exhale, can you twist a bit more? Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, you're drawing that right ear towards your right shoulder, feeling that stretch go all the way down the left side of your neck. Let's hold it here for one more deep breath. On your next inhale, bringing your hands back to the ceiling, look up. And as you exhale, twisting to the other side, hooking that right hand, to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, twisting a bit more. We're just warming up the spine, stimulating your abdominal organs here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drawing that left ear to your left shoulder. Can you feel the stretch go all the way down the right side of the neck? Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, bringing both arms to the ceiling, look up. Exhale, sweeping your hands away from you, slowly palms towards the floor, feeling that stretch go all the way down your arms. Really good work, just shaking out those shoulders. Just doing some neck rolls with the head. Moving slowly and pausing if you have any areas of extra tension. And just going the other way. And on your next inhale, bringing your head back to center and just coming straight into tabletop position. So you want to bring your hands underneath the shoulders, have the fingers spread wide, have your knees underneath your hips, and you can have your toes tucked for balance here. On your next inhale, arching through the back, lifting the chest, keep those arms straight, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, rounding through the back, come into our cat position, gaze towards the knees or the thighs. Squeeze that belly button, squeeze that core. Stretch out that back. Once more. Inhale, arching through the back, stretching your abs, contracting your back muscles here. Deep breath in. And exhale, rounding through the back. Stretch out the back. Pull those shoulder blades apart. And on your next inhale, coming into our tabletop position. Really good work. Slowly lifting those knees off the floor, about an inch off the floor. We're holding it here. We're going to be creating some heat and strengthening that core. So gaze between the hands. Spine is neutral. Breathing here, press into the hands. Pull those shoulder blades apart. Let's stretch out the calves now. So I want you to straighten that right leg, push through that right heel, and just bounce that heel towards the floor. You should feel a nice stretch in the right calf. Good work. Inhale, bringing that knee back to your center underneath the hips. Keep the knees lifted the whole time. Move to the other side. Stretch out that left leg. Bounce through that left heel. Core is engaged the whole time. Nice work. Bringing that knee back to center. We're holding here for 3. You should feel some burning now maybe. Holding here for 2. And 1. Pressing all the way back into our first downward facing dog. So you might want to walk your hands forward slightly. And if you're new to downward facing dog and you're not sure if you're in the right position, then you can check by shuffling forwards into a high plank. If your hands remain underneath your wrists, if your hands remain underneath your shoulders, then you know you're roughly in the right place. So you can start by walking out the dog, bending one knee at a time, stretching out the calf and the hamstring even more. And if it feels good, maybe you're crossing that knee underneath the other knee and then lifting your hands. So if you're crossing that left knee underneath the right knee, then you're lifting onto the top of your right fingertips. Feel that stretch go all the way down the right side of the body. Swapping to the other side. Moving dynamically here, so whatever feels good for you. If you don't want to be stretching out the side body, if that's a bit much for you today, that's fine. Just stay walking out your dog. Maybe bouncing through the shoulders, stretching out the chest, maybe doing some yeses and some no's with your head. Really good work, just coming into our static downward facing dog now. So your hands should be shoulder width, feet should be hip width. As you inhale, you're lengthening through the spine, lifting those hips. And as you exhale, you're pressing your chest towards your thighs. So the goal here isn't to bring your heels to the ground. The goal is to feel length in the spine and stretch out the back of the body. So you can have the knees bent. Just focus on lifting your hips to the ceiling, stretching out that posterior chain. Really good work. As you inhale, ripple your way forwards into a high plank. We're going to be moving through the spine now. As you exhale, bending the knees, pressing back to our downward facing dog. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, ripple your way forwards. Hands remain under the shoulders, coming into high plank. Exhale, bend through the knees, send your hips back to the ceiling. Really good work. One more time. Inhale, rolling your way forwards. Exhale, bending the knees, sending the hips back. Nice work. Inhale, coming into that high plank. Holding it here. Engage in that core. We're holding for 3. Holding for 2. And 1. We're going to lower all the way to the floor. If you need to bring your knees down, do so. Otherwise, keeping those knees lifted, going down slowly in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down to the floor. Untuck those toes. Really good work. Bringing your hands to the outside of your mat. Coming up onto your fingers, bringing your hands into a TP shape. Relax the forehead on the floor, elbows towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice stretch in the chest and the shoulders here. On your next inhale, you're rippling your way up into lower, mid, and up, upper cobra. And then as you exhale, lower back comes down, or lower belly comes down, middle belly, and forehead. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lifting your lower belly, middle chest, upper chest, and forehead. Holding it here. Maybe the arms are straight, maybe the arms are bent. That's okay. Squeeze the glute, protect the back. And exhale, lower belly, middle belly, and forehead down. One more time. Inhale, lower belly, middle chest, upper chest, head. Exhale, lower belly, chest, and forehead. Nice work. Bringing your hands out to the side in a T shape. If you don't have space, you can have your hands in cactus arms, so your hands in line with the elbows. And we're going to roll over to your right arm. So bringing your body towards that right hand and maybe bending that left leg, placing the left foot on the floor. Feel that stretch in the right shoulder. If you feel quite open today, maybe you're straightening out the left leg. Breathing here. This can feel quite intense, so you can bring your belly towards the floor if it's too much. One more deep breath. And as you exhale slowly, bringing your belly towards the floor, moving to the other side, so stretching that left arm out. And then rolling over towards that left hand, maybe bending that right leg, place your right foot on the floor, and breathing here. If this feels good, maybe you're straightening out that right leg and drawing your right hip towards the floor. You'll feel quite an intense stretch in that left shoulder. So just breathe here. It'll feel really nice if you spend so much time at your desk. One more deep breath. And exhale, bringing your belly towards your mat. Pressing all the way back into our child's pose. Knees come wide, big toes together. Sit your hips to heels. Stretch your hands forwards, forehead towards the floor. Breathing here for 2 deep breaths. Inhale, lengthening that spine. And exhale, sending your hips back towards the heels. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Really good work. Slowly coming up into tabletop position. And then toes tucked under, press all the way back into our downward facing dog. I want you to come up onto your tiptoes as you inhale and then walking your feet towards the top of your mat, bringing your feet behind your wrists. And then coming into ragdoll, so grabbing the hold of opposite elbows. If you need to bend the knees, you can. Just swaying from side to side, relax the head, relax the neck, relax the shoulders. You can do some yeses and some nos with the head to release tension from the neck. And then bringing a generous bend to the knees, allow your hands to drop to the floor, interlace your hands behind your back and bring your hands towards the floor. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders here, keep breathing. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. If you want to close down the eyes, you can. With every inhale, maybe you'll be able to straighten the legs a bit more. And with every exhale, you're folding your torso towards your thighs and you're bringing your hands overhead. One more deep breath. Really good work. Bending through the knees again, releasing the hands, sweeping your hands past the edges of your feet, lifting yourself all the way up. Hands to the ceiling, look up. And exhale, release the hands. Good. On your next inhale, just bringing your arms all the way back up to the ceiling, look up, deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're folding forwards, bringing your hands towards the floor if you can. Keeping a flat back here as you inhale, raising your torso all the way up, hands are straight in front of you, lifting your hands backwards, coming into a slight back bend, squeeze those glutes. Exhale, folding forwards, fingertips to the floor, stretching that spine, send the hips backwards, one more time. Inhale, squeezing those legs together without moving them, legs are engaged. Coming into our back bend, squeeze the glutes, open up through the chest. And exhale, folding forwards. Really good work. Coming into a half fold now. So inhale, bringing your hands onto shins, spine long. Heel toe, your feet closer together so that your big toes are touching. Heels are slightly apart. Deep breath in, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And as you exhale, bringing your hands towards the floor, stepping all the way back into a high plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, lowering all the way towards the floor. You can bring the knees down as a variation. Keeping the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift the chest, squeeze the elbows into your body. Exhale, pressing all the way back into our downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting that right foot to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Try to keep your hips in line here. That right foot is flexed. Deep breath in. Exhale, rounding through the back, bring your knee to nose, squeeze your core here, hold, hold, hold. And pressing that right foot between your hands, we're coming straight into a high lunge. So on the next inhale, raising your arms all the way up to the ceiling and holding it here. Focus on tucking the tailbone, so you want to remove that curve in the lower back and feel the stretch at the top of the left hip flexor. If you have any pain in your back, then have a bend in that back knee. Otherwise, if your back is okay, you're working on straightening out that back leg. Breathe here, hips are in line. And as you exhale, coming into cactus, arms open up through the chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open the chest, lift your gaze. Inhale, arms up, look forwards. Exhale, open the chest, lift the gaze, elbows down. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands on hips, step that back foot forward slightly, straighten out the front leg, we're coming into pyramid pose. So your back foot needs to be at 45 degrees. Bring your hips in line, draw that right hip back in space. Deep breath in here. And as you exhale, you're folding forwards, keeping that right leg straight. Have a slight bend in the knee, make sure that the knee isn't locked out. And draw that kneecap up. So keeping that right leg engaged. Now, if your hamstring feels okay, then you can bring your fingertips to the floor, but only if your spine remains long. So if you're curving through your back, then keep your hands on your hips and stay higher up. Otherwise, if that hamstring's okay, then you're working on bringing the torso towards that right leg. Gazing towards your right big toe, breathing here. As you inhale, lengthen that spine. And as you exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forwards. Really good work, bending through that front leg, stepping that back foot behind your right foot. so it's crossed behind that right foot. And then I want you to bring your hands towards the right side. So you should feel a really nice stretch go all the way down the outside of that left leg. We're stretching out your IT band, which can often feel so tight if you run or do lots of other strenuous sports. So breathing here. If it's difficult to touch your fingertips on the floor, then keep your hands on your hips and just focus on bringing your torso towards the right side. Otherwise, fingertips on the floor, feel that stretch go all the way down the left side of the torso as well. We're here for one more deep breath. And then as you exhale, bringing both hands to the inside of that right foot, stepping that left foot back, we're coming into our lizard pose. So you can heel toe that right foot towards the edge of the mat, pressing your hands underneath the shoulders, maybe just making some circles with the hips, opening up through that hip, breathing here. Now, if this is enough of a stretch, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can bring your elbows towards the floor and keep squeezing that right knee towards your right shoulder. So you're squeezing that back glute. Feel that stretch in the right hip. Relax the shoulders. One more deep breath. On your next inhale, everyone coming up onto your hands if you weren't there already. And then inhale, raising that right arm to the ceiling, look up. Exhale, rolling onto the outside of that left foot, stretching your right hand behind you. Keep pressing the whole of your right foot into the floor. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right elbow to left thumb. Twice more. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand comes behind you, roll to the outside of that back foot. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right elbow, left thumb. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really good work. Framing that right foot with both hands, stepping back into a high plank, holding it here. Deep breath in. Exhale, lowering your torso all the way towards the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Roll the shoulders back and down. And exhale, pressing back into our downward facing dog. Really good work. Maybe you're walking out that dog. If you need to come into a child's pose, you can. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. As you inhale, lengthen that spine. And as you exhale, pressing your chest back towards the thighs. 1 more deep breath. If you were in child's pose and meeting us in downward facing dog, and on your next inhale, lifting that left foot to the ceiling, keep that left foot flexed. Keep your hips in line here. Really internally rotate that left leg. Spiral the inside of your thigh up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, shifting your weight forwards, knee to nose. Squeeze that core, hold it here. And then pressing that left foot between the hands, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up. As you exhale, can you sink deeper? So again, really focusing on tucking that tailbone. Feel that stretch at the top of the right hip flexor. Hold it here. Squeeze that right glute. If you need to bend that back leg to protect the back, then please do so. Deep breath in. Exhale, opening up through the chest, the elbows come down, lift your gaze. Inhale, gaze forwards, arms up. Exhale, open the chest, come into a mini back bend, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, opening through the chest, lift the gaze. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing your hands onto your hips, shifting the back foot forward, straightening out both legs. So back foot, 45 degrees. Deep breath in here, keep your hips in line, pull that left hip back. And as you exhale, you're folding forwards. Feeling that stretch at the back of the left hamstring. Try and keep the spine long here. As you inhale, send the crown of your head forwards. And as you exhale, folding forwards towards that left leg. Now if your hamstring feels okay, maybe you're bringing your fingertips to the floor. Or if you're rounding through the back, then please do stay with your hands on your hips. As long as you're feeling that stretch at the back of the left hamstring, that's the only goal here. The goal is not to bring your hands to the floor. So just be kind to yourself. If maybe you expected more, don't worry about what this looks like. Just enjoy how it feels. We're here for one more deep breath. Inhale, can you lengthen that spine a bit more? And exhale, can you fold forwards a bit more? Really nice work, everyone, bringing your fingertips on the floor, bending the knee if you need to, and stepping that back foot behind the left foot. So you're crossing that right leg behind the left leg, and then you're bringing your hands towards the left side. Feeling that stretch go all the way down the right side of your IT band, the outside of that right leg. And breathing here. This can often feel quite intense, especially if you are doing other types of exercise. It's often so neglected, stretching out the outsides of our legs. So let's hold it here for one more deep breath. Inhaling. And then as you exhale, you're bringing your hands to the inside of that left foot, and then you're stepping that right foot back into our lizard pose. So you can shuffle that left foot outwards. Make sure you have space, just bouncing around here in lizard, opening up through that left hip, maybe doing some circles. Whatever feels good for you, just doing that here now. And you can either hold it here, stationary with your hands, in line with that left foot, or if you feel okay, maybe you're bringing your elbows towards the floor. Now this is quite an intense pose, so just focus on the breath and keep squeezing that left knee towards the left shoulder. You want to squeeze your right glute. Keep that right leg active. If you need to drop that right knee, go ahead. Breathing here. One more deep breath. Everyone coming back onto their hands. On your next inhale, lifting that left arm to the ceiling, look up. And as you exhale, roll into the outside of that left foot, sending your left hand backwards. Inhale, left arm to the ceiling. Exhale, left elbow to right thumb. Really feel that stretch in the left hip. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, send that left hand away from you. Keep pressing the whole of your left foot into the floor. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left elbow to right thumb. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, send that left hand backwards. Inhale. And exhale. Really good work. I think we did one extra elbow to thumb there. So lifting that right knee, slowly and silently pressing that left leg back into our high plank. Holding it here, inhale. And as you exhale, you're lowering all the way down, coming into chaturanga, and then either mini cobra or up dog. As you inhale, lift the chest, press into the hands. And as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Again, if you need to, coming into that child's pose. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. The more you do yoga, the more downward dog becomes a rest pose. But if you don't practice yoga very often, then downward dog can feel really challenging on the shoulders. So wherever you are, please do take child's pose if you need to. 1 more deep breath. Everyone meeting in downward facing dog now. On your next inhale, lifting that right leg to the ceiling, and this time opening up through the hip. So bending that right leg, squeezing your right heel towards your glute, and pressing that left heel towards the floor. Try to keep that right armpit in line with the left armpit. Breathing here. Now you can either stay here, focusing on opening up that hip, or if you want to come into wild thing with me, you can. So you're shifting your weight forwards, and then you're dropping that right foot down, opening up through the chest, lifting your palm to the ceiling. So that right leg is bent, coming up to the tiptoes of the right foot, and then you're pressing the whole of your left foot into the floor. As you inhale, just opening up through the chest, gazing towards your right fingertips. And as you exhale, coming back into our 3-legged dog, lifting that right foot to the ceiling. And exhale, coming into pigeon on the right side, so sending your right knee to the back of that right wrist. Scooching that back leg backwards, straightening out through that left leg. Good, having your fingers on the floor, TP hands, fingertips on the floor. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're rolling all the way down, lower belly, chest, forehead. Inhale, lower belly, chest, forehead. Exhale, lower belly, chest, forehead. Inhale. Good, holding it here. So you want to try to keep the weight out of the hands here. If you need to put a cushion underneath that right sit bone, you can. If you don't feel the stretch in the hip, then you're pushing that right heel away from your body. If it's very tough on the hips, then you'll bring that heel closer to your center line. Breathing here. You can either stay here, or if you want to come into swan, bringing your torso all the way down to the floor, relaxing your forehead on the floor. Breathing here. Keep that right foot flexed, protect that right knee. One more deep breath. Slowly, on your next inhale, you're lifting your head and you're bringing your weight to your right sit bone, swinging that left leg in front of you. Good, so that left leg is out straight. That right foot is on the inside of the left thigh. Keep the left foot flexed as you inhale, raise your arms all the way to the ceiling, look up. And as you exhale, folding forwards. Now if your hamstrings are tight and your hands are by your knees, that's fine. Just focus on keeping that spine long. So again, we're feeling that stretch at the back of the left hamstring. Folding at the hips here, shoulders are relaxed, gazing towards that left big toe. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, pressing that right knee towards the floor and bringing your torso towards that left leg. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Really good work. Slowly bringing your torso all the way back up. Sending your right hand behind you, and as you inhale, lifting your hips, gazing towards the back of that left hand, palm to the ceiling. Press the whole of your left foot into the floor. Deep breath in. And exhale, sweeping yourself all the way back round. Hands on the floor, just rounding through the back. So we went from a chest opener to now a back stretch. Allow the chin to drop towards the chest. Good. On your next inhale, slowly just straightening up your spine and bringing your hands all the way behind you, stepping back into our downward facing dog. So you should be now in a downward facing dog on the other side of your mat. On your next inhale, lifting that left foot to the ceiling, opening up through that hip, squeezing that left heel towards your glutes, sending that knee towards the ceiling. And trying to keep your shoulders in line here. So you don't want to dump too much weight to the right side. Now you can either stay here, working on opening up through the hip, or if you want to come into wild thing, you can. Shift your weight forwards and then pressing your left foot into the floor. Keep that left leg bent, right leg straight. Gaze towards the back of the right hand. Really press the whole of your right foot in the floor and you're up on the ball of that left foot. Squeeze the glutes. So there's a lot going on here, but it should feel really good in opening up through the chest. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down. Press back, three-legged dog, left leg to the ceiling. And exhale, we're coming into our pigeon on the left side. So straightening out that left leg, having that left foot flexed. And remember, if you do need to put a block or a cushion underneath that sit bone, you can. So having your hands at the side of the mat, TP your fingers, inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, bringing your lower belly, chest, forehead down. Inhale, lower belly, chest, forehead up. Exhale, lower belly, chest, forehead. Inhale, lower belly, chest, forehead. Good, holding it here. If you want to stay here, working on keeping the weight out of your hands, then you can. Maybe you can experiment with your hands on the hips. Or if you want to come with me, lying down into swan, stretching the hands forwards, forehead towards the floor. Breathing here. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. So if you have stayed up with your hands on your hips, then you're really going to be strengthening out those legs. So do take a rest if you need to, as that pose is quite strong. 1 more deep breath. Keep that left foot flexed, protect that left knee. On your next inhale, slowly lifting your head if you were down, bringing your torso back up. Shift the weight onto the left sit bone, swinging that right leg forwards. Good, so you should have that left foot on the inside of that right leg, right foot flexed. Inhale, raising the arms all the way up. And exhale, reaching forwards. Again, just working within your limits. Have a micro bend in that right knee, make sure it's not locked out, and keep that right foot flexed. Really press that right heel into the floor to protect the hamstring. This leg should be strong as well as feeling stretched. Good, as you inhale, lengthen that spine, relax the shoulders. And as you exhale, drawing that left knee towards the floor, and just bringing your torso towards the floor as well. Maybe you're feeling a stretch in that lower back, in that left hip. Good work. 1 more deep breath. Slowly rolling your torso back up. Pressing that left hand behind you. On your next inhale, open out through the hip. Lift your hips, press the whole of your right foot in the floor. Gaze to the back of your right hand. Squeeze those glutes, protect your back. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, sweeping your hands forwards. Placing your hands on either side of that right knee and just rounding through the back. So pushing your spine backwards, chin to chest. Stretching out the spine here. Maybe closing down the eyes. One more deep breath. Slowly rolling your torso back up, lifting the head, bringing that left knee back to center, straightening it out, and then just lying down onto your back, rolling from side to side, massage your back against the floor, and just bringing both knees towards the left side. Stretch your right arm out at shoulder height, gaze towards your right hand. Holding it here as you inhale, really pressing your right shoulder blade into the floor. And as you exhale, those knees drop towards the floor. One more deep breath. Feeling that stretch at the top of the right thigh and in your back. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, bringing both knees towards your center, just hugging your knees to your chest, rocking from side to side. Bringing both knees to your right side, stretch your left arm out. Gaze towards your left hand. Press that left shoulder blade into the floor as you inhale. And draw your knees towards the floor as you exhale. We're here for one more deep breath. On your next inhale, just bringing both knees back to center, squeeze your knees to your chest, hug your knees to your chest. And we're just going to have our Shavasana in Supta Baddha Konasana. So have the soles of your feet together, allow your knees to roll out. And you can place your hands either on your belly, if that feels good, or maybe just place your hands by your side, palms to the ceiling. Adjusting the shoulders, making sure that you're comfortable as we wind down for the final part of our session, of our yoga class. And we often feel really rushed to get on with whatever we're doing next. So if you can, see if you can resist that temptation to just get up and go. See if you can just stay here for a few breaths. Inhaling, expanding that belly, expanding that chest. And exhaling, softening the muscles in your face, softening your shoulders. And bringing your awareness back to your intention that we set at the beginning of the class. Something that you want to bring into your life. Something positive, and something that brings you joy. Just remembering what that was, and saying to yourself, I intend to invite. I intend to invite. Closing this practice with 3 more deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Sigh it out. Twice more. Inhale. Hold. One more time, make this the biggest breath you've taken all day. Inhale. If you can stay here for longer, I'd really recommend you stay here for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you do want to finish this practice with me, then bringing your knees together, straightening out your legs. On your next inhale, reaching your arms overhead. Make yourself as long as you can. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, bringing your hands into prayer, sending the back of your thumbs to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. And just thanking yourself for taking time for yourself today. And slowly, you can release your hands and open up the eyes.